You know, they say every swan has its day, but for the trumpeter swan, every day is a comedy show. Ah, the trumpeter swan, an elegant bird by nature but a total goofball at heart. Imagine a creature so regal, so pristine, it could easily be mistaken for a feathery sculpture in a modern art museum. But don't be fooled, this isn't your average run-of-the-mill swan. Now, the trumpeter swan is a big bird. And when I say big, I mean it's the largest extant species of waterfowl. It's like they took a regular swan and said, hey, let's supersize it. It's the kind of bird that makes other birds look like they're on a diet. But what's impressive isn't just its size. It's the way this bird carries its massive self with such grace and, well, hilarity. The trumpeter swan is named for its distinctive call, which sounds remarkably like a trumpet. But let me tell you, it's not the kind of smooth, jazz lounge trumpet you might be picturing. No, it's more like a child discovering a trumpet for the first time, blasting out notes in a cacophony that could wake the dead. It's loud, it's brassy, and it's absolutely hysterical. And let's not forget about those pristine white feathers. They're so white, they make fresh snow look dirty. But these birds have an uncanny ability to find the muddiest, messiest places to play in. One minute, you have this dazzling white bird, the next, it's a mud-splattered fiasco, looking like it just finished a Tough Mudder race. So, what have we learned about our feathered friend, the trumpeter swan? It's a big, loud, mud-loving bird that's as graceful as it is comedic. And we wouldn't have it any other way. So buckle up, folks, it's time to dive into the world of the trumpeter swan, where every day is a wing-flapping, water-splashing lap riot. Scene script: have you ever seen a swan try to dance ballet? Well, you're about to. Our feathered friend, the trumpeter swan, is not just about the grand entrances or the majestic flights. Oh no, it's also about the grand performance, the piece de resistance, the ballet. Yes, you heard it right, the ballet. A dance form known for its grace, precision, and elegance. But when it comes to our trumpeter swan, let's just say, it's a rather unique interpretation of the art. Picture a ballerina, poised and graceful, gliding across the stage with the utmost elegance. Now, replace that ballerina with a trumpeter swan, and you have a performance that's, well, let's just say it's one of a kind. As the swan waddles on land, it's like watching a prima ballerina attempting twirls and flippers. Each step, an adventure in balance and coordination. The elegant neck, curved in an S shape, adds just the right amount of dramatic flair. It's a dance routine that's unlike anything you've ever seen before. And the water ballet? It's a spectacle in itself. Watch as the trumpeter swan awkwardly flaps its wings, splashing water all around. It's less Swan Lake, and more Swan Splash. But hey, who's judging? It's all part of the charm. Each clumsy movement, each misplaced step, it's all part of the trumpeter swan's ballet. It's a dance routine that's high on enthusiasm and low on finesse. But that's what makes it so endearing. So, next time you find yourself at a ballet performance, remember our friend, the trumpeter swan, the one who traded grace for gusto, precision for passion, and elegance for excitement. The one who redefined ballet in its own unique way. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call the Swan Lake with a twist. Scene script: who needs an orchestra when you have a trumpeter swan choir? Now, if you thought the trumpeter swan's grand entrance and ballet were showstoppers, wait until you hear their symphony. You see, trumpeter swans are not just named for their grand size or their majestic appearance, they are named for the distinctive trumpeting sounds they make. A single trumpeter swan's call can be music to the ears, but when you get a whole group of them together, well, it's a chorus unlike anything you've heard before. Imagine, if you will, a choir of these feathered maestros, each with a voice as distinctive as the patterns on their feathers. The baritones, basses, tenors, and sopranos, all coming together in a symphony that can only be described as unique. It's a bit like a kindergarten's first musical recital, full of enthusiasm and gusto, if not exactly in tune. Now, their communication isn't just noise. Oh no, there's a method to their musical madness. Each honk, each trumpet is a message, a greeting, a call to arms, or a love song. It's a language all their own, a language of love, life, and everything in between. And while it might not be Mozart or Beethoven to our human ears, to the swans, it's a symphony as beautiful as a sunrise over a serene lake. It's the soundtrack to their lives, echoing across the water and filling the air with the melody of nature. So the next time you find yourself near a body of water and hear the distinctive trumpeting of these feathered virtuosos, take a moment to appreciate their concert. Remember, it's not just noise, it's communication, it's community, it's the trumpeter swan's chorus. And the Grammy for the Best New Artist goes to the Trumpeter Swan Choir. Because let's be honest, who else can deliver such a unique, unfiltered, and unabashedly enthusiastic performance day in and day out? Bravo, Swans, bravo. Scene script. Social etiquette, the Trumpeter Swan hasn't heard of it. Picture this, a swan soiree, a gathering of the finest feathered folks. There's a flurry of flapping wings, preening, and gentle honks. Now imagine a trumpeter swan waddling into this gathering, all grace and grandeur. But hold on, what's this? It seems our elegant friend has a bit of a different take on social norms. Let's take a sneak peek into some of the trumpeter swan's most memorable, or shall we say, infamous, social blunders. Like that time when our protagonist, let's call him Mr. Trumpeter, decided to make a grand entrance at the local pond. Instead of a graceful glide in, he belly flopped, sending waves of water onto the unsuspecting mallards. Talk about making a splash! Or how about when Mr. Trumpeter tried to join a chorus of songbirds, with his own unique form of music? The resulting cacophony was less harmonious symphony, and more discordant rock concert. Not quite what the songbirds had in mind for their morning serenade. And who can forget the time when Mr. Trumpeter, in a fit of over-enthusiasm, chased a squirrel up a tree? A tree! With wings flapping and honking in full swing, it was quite the spectacle. The squirrel, of course, was less than amused. But perhaps the piece de resistance of all these social faux pas was when Mr. Trumpeter, in his quest for a tasty treat, upended an entire picnic basket, sending sandwiches, fruits, and a rather startled raccoon flying. Despite these hilarious hiccups, or maybe because of them, we can't help but admire the Trumpeter Swan. After all, in a world that often takes itself too seriously, there's something refreshing about a bird that marches, or rather waddles, to the beat of its own drum. Next time on Swan Socials, we'll be discussing the art of saying "excuse me" before splashing water on your neighbors. Just when you thought you'd seen it all, the Trumpeter Swan has one more trick up its feathered sleeve. Now, we all know that swans are elegant, regal, and occasionally a bit melodramatic. But the Trumpeter Swan? Well, it dances to the beat of a different drum. Or should we say, it honks to the rhythm of a different trumpet. Imagine this, a sunny day, a pristine lake, and a majestic Trumpeter Swan gliding across the water. Suddenly, a leaf falls from a tree, landing with a soft splash near the swan. Now, any normal swan might ignore it, but not our trumpeter. No, it stares at the leaf, cocks its head, and then chases it. That's right, this regal bird, the epitome of grace and elegance, is now chasing a leaf across a lake. It's like watching a royal figure chase after a loose paper hat at a garden party. But wait, there's more. Have you ever seen a swan eat? It's usually a dignified affair, right? Not for the trumpeter. They have a peculiar habit of dunking their heads underwater, rummaging around, and then surfacing with a beak full of water and food. It's like watching a child bob for apples, only it's a swan, and the prize is a mouthful of pondweed. And let's not forget their reaction to their own reflection. Picture this. A trumpeter swan encounters a mirror for the first time. You'd expect a bit of curiosity, maybe some mild confusion. But our trumpeter? It starts a honking duet with its own reflection, convinced it's found a new friend. It's like watching someone argue with their own echo, and it's absolutely hilarious. So, there you have it. The trumpeter swan, an elegant ballerina one moment, a feathered comedian the next. They're full of surprises, and it's these little quirks that make them so endearing and entertaining to observe. And there you have it. The trumpeter swan, the feathered comedian of the animal kingdom. Remember, laughter is the best bird medicine.